Hey everyone, welcome back to the R Stories. I know many of you use these videos to unwind and drift off to sleep, and I'm so glad to be part of a nighttime routine. Before you settle in, I'd love to hear where you're listening from. Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you're enjoying the episodes, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. Now relax, get comfortable, and let's begin. Next story. Am I the asshole for not letting a neighbor borrow my tile saw because he assumed it belonged to my boyfriend? My boyfriend and I have a bit of an untraditional relationship. I, female, am the builder/fixer/etc., and my boyfriend is not really good at that type of stuff. My garage is filled with tools that I have collected over the years, a lot of expensive tools. A young couple just bought the house across the street from us. The houses are not too far apart, and I guess our new neighbors have seen into our garage when my boyfriend and I hang out in there. The husband came over to introduce himself, and he briefly nodded at me, yet he shook my boyfriend's hand and was friendly to him while introducing himself. It made me feel very dismissed, to be honest, like I am not his equal. He mentioned that they are having to retile the kitchen and do a bunch of other repairs, as the house was a bit of a fixer-upper. The elderly lady had lived there for 55 years before dying recently. He said that they were a bit broke after buying the house, and he's having to do the repairs himself and learn how to do a lot of this stuff. My boyfriend kind of just smiled and nodded his head because he hates do-it-yourself projects. He finally asked my boyfriend if he could borrow his tile saw and maybe a few other tools, and maybe my boyfriend could give him some YouTube suggestions. He offered to give it back as he borrowed it, and said he would buy him a case of beer for the trouble. This was the point where my boyfriend mentioned that all the tools in the garage belong to me and that he has no clue how to build or fix anything. The guy was surprised but gave me a half smile and said, "Oh, I guess I should have asked you then. What do you say? The offer still stands." I was kind of annoyed, and I told him that maybe another man in the neighborhood can help him, and I'm just a woman, so what do I know? I was admittedly very snarky. My boyfriend kind of thinks I was needlessly an asshole to our new neighbor. I think the guy should have apologized for his incorrect assumption before asking me to borrow my tools. I hate when men assume my boyfriend does man stuff, and I am supposed to do woman stuff. It happens occasionally. Which, by the way, who asks someone they do not even know to borrow a tile saw? Tile saws are not cheap, especially not the one I own. Am I the asshole? My boyfriend and I are not really stressing over it, but I just wanted an unbiased outside opinion. Edit. So many people are saying, how did he disrespect you by making assumptions? If it was just the assumption, I would have probably been nicer, but the fact that he would not even shake my hand and was barely willing to look at me made me feel like I was not even in the room. He was so friendly to my boyfriend, yet it was like I was invisible until he wanted to ask me for my tools. He was all, "It is so nice to meet you," and incredibly chummy to him, yet barely acknowledged my existence. Many of you are saying it might come across as flirting with another man's woman to be friendly to me. First off, I'm not his fucking property. Second of all, a handshake and saying, "It is nice to meet you," is not exactly fucking groping me and slapping my ass in front of my boyfriend. It is just called basic fucking manners, which many of you do not have, apparently. Lastly, it does not hurt you to not make assumptions about other people. Your penis will not fall off if you ask, "Oh, which of you maybe works in trades?" Commenter 1. I would not lend a total stranger my expensive tools no matter the first impression, which was bad. Not the asshole. I did not lend out my tools. The guy admits he does not know how to use them, but still does not ask the original poster for any tips after finding out they are her tools. He really does not know how to treat someone he is asking for a favor. You are right. If he does not know how to use the tools, he should have asked you for tips, especially after learning they are yours. It was a bit rude to just assume he could borrow them without acknowledging your expertise. A little more respect would have gone a long way. Is it your line of work, or are you a weekend warrior like me? But he did not even know he screwed up. Commenter 2. Also a woman who owns all the tools in our house. My husband has no clue how to use or care for them. His dad never bothered to teach him how to do anything practical, while my dad had me helping to build the addition onto our house from the time I was about 9 years old. He also taught me to get the best quality tools. Many tools in my collection are a gift from my dad over the years. I would be hesitant to loan my tools to anyone, but definitely not the asshole that assumed my equipment belonged to my husband. Fuck that guy. He would break your tile saw, then blame you for it not working. Bless your dad for teaching you. I learned how to do various home improvements and repairs from workshops at Home Depot and watching woodworking shows on PBS. Dad taught manufacturing engineering for 50 years. There are very few manufacturing companies in the United States that do not have one of his students working there. His students like to come by and either work on the addition or walk around and talk about it for a bit, then have dinner with us. I was always in the middle of everything. There are some of his students that I am still close to 40 years on. I was blessed to learn from the best. Commenter 3. Not the asshole. I doubt he will return anything in as borrowed condition. Similar things have happened to me. I was buying a house, and my then boyfriend was with me at the bank about the mortgage. He was not buying with me. He was actually between jobs at the time. But the lady at the bank, yeah, a woman did it, kept addressing her answers to my questions to him. I even made a point to say he was basically there for the ride, because we had plans after this meeting, and he was not involved at all. It did not help. Another time, I bought tires for my car online because I did not want to be taken for a ride at the store. The day they were supposed to come in, a guy from the store calls me and asks if I want him to talk to my husband. No, my tires for my car. He proceeds to tell me they cannot get those tires, but he has got a better deal for me. Are you standing? You need to sit for this offer. Are you sitting? This deal is so good, you had better lie down. You lying down? What the actual fuck? Told him I would be calling his manager. The tires were cheaper, but of less quality than I wanted. If I wanted cheap, I would have chosen cheap. If I wanted to be harassed, I know where to go in town. I have had this happen to me when buying a car. My boyfriend was just sitting there. I was asking the questions, and the saleswoman answered my boyfriend. He told the saleswoman that he was not buying the car. I was. She kept talking to him. So he said to me, "Do you really want this car? Or do you want to go to another dealership?" We left. She was so shocked and apologized as we walked out the door. Commenter 4. When the banker only talked to my husband about the mortgage we were applying for, despite us mentioning several times my salary was higher, I got up, thanked him for the meeting, and said we would not accept anything this bank had to offer. My husband said, "Love you, babe." The banker tried to backtrack and even called our realtor and begged. Nope. Stand tall. Be happy you have the knowledge to treat people well. In this case, it was giving him a lesson he really needed. Opie. Similar things have happened to us as well. Waitresses always give him the bill. People tell me I'm lucky to have a man to pay my bills. I make more money than him. Men at the car dealership address him and not me, etc. I hate it. I'm a person too. Happens at tool stores all the time. I told my partner, and he did not believe me at first, but after I had mentioned it, he started noticing it and apologized. Now he actively makes the person talk to me if it is my project by backing away, not answering, turning his back, gesturing to me, etc. It is so freaking dumb. I was in the military, and my husband had long hair. Whenever we said we had gotten stationed in our new town, everyone would ask him if he was at so-and-so base. Like, how the fuck are people thinking this long-haired dude being military was more likely than, gasp, a woman? It is bananas, and I would not want to be friends with someone like your neighbor, and I would probably have answered exactly the way you did. Commenter 5. Not the asshole. It is not even just that he assumed you were not the one with the tools. It is how he barely acknowledged your presence instead of just talking to you both. It would be a lot more forgivable if he just talked to you both and could have chalked it up to a simple assumption men make. You do not owe anyone the privilege of borrowing expensive tools, but especially not someone you just met. Borrowing smaller tools to start off with would have been easier. To immediately ask for expensive saws 30 seconds into meeting someone is wild, in my opinion. Next story. Am I the asshole for refusing to take my ex back, but accepting my fiancé's kids? My ex-husband, let us call him Frank, and I got married deeply in love. After a while, I found out I could not have children. Frank wanted kids, and he told me he did not want to leave me, but also wanted to have a child with someone else. I could not accept that. Later, I found out he had gotten a woman from his workplace pregnant. He told me he did not want to divorce me and still wanted to be with me, but I could not stay. Despite his resistance, I divorced him, and he married the mother of his child. This was 2 years ago. Now, I am with someone new. Let us call him Mark. Mark is kind, understanding, and has been a great support system for me after everything with Frank. I love him deeply. He has 2 sons from his previous marriage, ages 3 and 5. They stay with him every other weekend and see him regularly during the week. He is a great dad, and I admire that about him. Mark and I recently decided to get married, and I'm really happy about it. But ever since Frank found out, he's been trying to contact me. Today, he showed up outside my work. He accused me of being a hypocrite, accepting Mark's kids, but refusing to accept his. He said that all he ever wanted was to build a life with me and grow old together, and that I was being unfair for not accepting him under the same circumstances. Logically, I see why he thinks it is the same situation, but it does not feel the same. The thought of Frank and his child still hurts me, yet I do not feel the same way about Mark and his kids. Frank insists it is the same, but is it? So am I the asshole? Update. Wow, I did not expect to receive this much support. Thank you all so much. I wanted to address a few things that came up in the comments. Surgery was not an option for me. We consulted multiple doctors, and in the end, we had to accept that I would not be able to have children. That time was especially difficult for me, and Frank was my biggest source of support. Adoption was also off the table because Frank did not want it. He wanted biological children. He told me, "I do not want to raise someone else's child." I was the one who first suggested divorce back then, but he swore he would never leave me. He even said, "It will always be just the 2 of us until the end." And I believed him. Frank and I met in high school and were together for 10 years. I think that is why he knows exactly how to get to me. After our conversation today, I started doubting myself. I even felt like I was the one at fault. Thank you all for helping me see things from my perspective again. I feel much more certain now. Commenter 1. Logically, I see why he thinks it is the same situation. I mean, no, it is not remotely the same situation. The first situation was not about not accepting his child. It was about infidelity and betrayal. In her current relationship, it seems like he is loyal and has not stepped outside their relationship. In fact, the ex continues to show he is disloyal by trying to get together with someone when he is already married. Dude needs counseling. Exactly. Infidelity and betrayal are not the same as a pre-existing child. Frank is just trying to twist the narrative. Frank's issues are his own. You cannot equate infidelity with a new family dynamic. Yeah, the difference is your ex-husband is a cheater and your fiancé is faithful. Big difference. The ex is pathetic because he's whining at her door after he cheats and he remarries. He is still feeling as if she mistreated him by not wanting him when he cheated. Commenter 2. Not the asshole. This is definitely not the same situation. Your ex cheated on you. You do not owe him or his child anything. Your fiancé, on the other hand, had his child well before your relationship. Your ex is a cheap liar, and your fiancé is not in this situation. Also, what is her ex doing sniffing around when he has a kid and a new wife? Coming to her work? Skeevy. Imagine how the original poster's ex-husband's new wife would feel when she finds out he is still sniffing around the woman he was previously married to. Commenter 3. He cheated on you, got another woman pregnant while he was married to you, and he is playing the victim? Tell him to stay the fuck away from you, or you will be filing harassment charges. Definitely not the asshole. Commenter 4. An affair baby is not even remotely the same as marrying a parent. Trust me, being cheated on and accepting stepkids are 2 completely different planets. Your ex's logic is laughably flawed. Commenter 5. Not the asshole. This is not even remotely the same situation. Frank cheated on you and then wanted you to be okay with that after the fact. If he truly wanted to be with you and grow old together, Frank would have discussed with you the options for having children by other methods. There is adoption and surrogacy, neither of which requires cheating on your partner. Frank can go fuck himself, and you should state that to him unequivocally. Next story. Am I the asshole for calling off my wedding because my fiancée wanted to invite her ex? We broke up. We went to counseling for months, and I just kept feeling worse and worse. Honestly, she said things that kind of reminded me of some comments I read on my previous posts, how he was meant to be nothing except something to be made fun of. I guess she simply did not understand that I did not want her ex there in any way, shape, or form, including in her head. I told her I did not want her to look at me at the altar with her ex in her head. She just did not get it. She thought because she wanted him to feel bad, it was okay. Honestly, at some point, I realized we were talking about her damn ex every day. And it just hit me. I did not want to ever hear her talk about him again. I did not want to hear his damn name again. I did not want my wife to constantly think about what her ex thinks of her. It has actually been a few weeks since our breakup, and I feel so relieved I have not heard my ex talk about her ex. Update. Am I the asshole for calling off my wedding because my fiancée wanted to invite her ex? So we're going to try some premarital counseling first. Our wedding has gone from being called off to being postponed indefinitely. My fiancée tried to explain why she wanted to invite her ex, but not only did she keep changing her answers, each one made it way worse for me. First, she tried to explain that she just wanted some payback. I told her, and if he does not care, are you going to rub our first child in his face? Our first home. She said she did not mean it that way, and she just wanted to prove her worth. I then told her that I guess her ex is the only one who could determine her worth. We kept going like this for a while, and there was not a single answer she gave that did not boil down to she cares what her ex thinks, and apparently, she cannot be happy unless her ex feels some sort of way. She denied it, but honestly, I find it hard to believe her. I do not want our marriage to be only worth something if her ex is the only one who can determine it. I refuse to be with someone whose happiness revolves around their ex's feelings. I decided to at least try some counseling. We have been together for years now. For your information, she was with her ex for about 2 years. 3 years later, she met me, and we have been together for 4. I figure I should try, so at least I can say I tried. Commenter 1. I wasted years of my life thinking about my ex. I hurt 2 super guys because I really was not over my ex. It took me getting back together with my ex to realize why we had broken up to begin with. A couple of years after that, I met my husband, smiley face. If she is still thinking about proving herself to him, well, I think you know what you have to do. Good luck, and update me. Commenter 2. Not the asshole. After 7 years broken up, for years out of the 7 with you, and it sounds like she is still not over him. I would not dare marry her. Exactly. If the ex were to show some interest, she would drop the original poster in a hot minute. I almost wonder if she was hoping that, by inviting her ex, he would give her the opportunity. She wants him to stand up and object, then she would run away with him. Commenter 3. It has been 7 years, and she is still this obsessed. If you break up now, can you see yourself still being obsessed with her in 7 years' time whilst planning a wedding to someone else? Know your own worth. Original poster. That is one thing to get a little satisfaction when meeting an ex by chance and seeing that he or she has not been doing so well since the breakup, even if it was 7 years ago, but planning to invite an ex to your wedding to show off. And anyway, it will not go the way she expects it. If he is doing well, he will perhaps come with a +1 who could have a dream job, be pregnant, etc., or he will not come because he does not care, most probable. But he will not come alone to silently cry when she gets married to you because she was the one, and he let her go because he was too immature to commit. Commenter 4. Her ex was living rent-free in her head, and probably will be for a long time. Count yourself fortunate that you are no longer involved in that foolishness. And now she will have 2 exes living rent-free. Just wait, and in a few months, you will get a wedding invitation. He can send a card with a referral to a good marriage counselor in it. Probably better to recommend a good divorce attorney to the fool who marries her after the original poster. Commenter 5. This was honestly the best outcome possible. Better to happen before you 2 got married. She obviously still has a problem with how she feels about her ex, but now it is not your problem. Good. Now you can peacefully get on with your life, and she can go do whatever she wants with the ex. Be grateful that this happened before the wedding. Next story. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my grandparents my late husband's life insurance payout? My 35 female husband passed away suddenly last year, leaving me and our 2 kids, 6 male, 4 female, completely heartbroken. He had a life insurance policy that paid out a significant sum, and while it does not make up for our loss, it has given us financial security. A few months ago, my in-laws approached me with a request. They want me to give a portion of the money to my late husband's grandparents, his mom's parents. Their reasoning is that they are struggling financially, and my husband would have wanted to help them. I do feel bad for them, but the thing is that they never really had a strong relationship with us. They did not even come to our wedding, claiming it was too far, even though they travel for vacations all the time. They never made much effort to be in our children's lives either. And now, they suddenly think they are entitled to the money my husband left for his family, which in my mind means our kids and me. My mother-in-law has been calling me selfish, saying they're elderly and struggling, and that I should honor my husband's memory by helping them. But I feel like this money was meant for our children's future. It is not like I'm hoarding it. I have set up college funds and am ensuring we are stable. Am I the asshole? Commenter 1. Not the asshole. Your husband's parents are free to help out if they want. You have just gone through a horrible tragedy and are dealing with a lot of uncertainty. You do not know what the future will bring, and you need to provide for your kids first. Opie. Right, I do not know all the facts about his grandparents and their financial situation, given that they do not really keep in touch that much. But I imagine that if anything, I would need the support more now that I'm all alone with 2 young kids to raise. Your money that you got from your husband's forethought and empathetic planning. If he had wanted to help his grandparents, he would have bought a policy for them or would have put them on as a partial beneficiary. Sorry for your loss, and be careful with that money. It has to support you and the kids for a long time. Exactly. He chose the benefactors of his insurance policy. His wishes are for his wife and kids to have financial security. Also, they travel on vacations frequently. Sounds like they might be okay financially. Sounds like the in-laws are just greedy and do not care about the future of the kids. Sounds like they're using the grandparents as an excuse and they want the money. Be careful, original poster, and do not disclose the insurance amount. Hopefully you have not. Commenter 2. Not the asshole. I am sorry for your loss. This money was for you and your children. Respectfully, your in-laws sound like money-hungry assholes. Your comment made me realize that if the original poster helps and there is money after they pass, there is no chance in hell she is getting that money back because the mother-in-law will say it is magically her inheritance. Commenter 3. They are old. They will get over it soon. Not the asshole. Opie. Jesus, I should not be laughing, but I cannot stop. Thank you. Laughing my fucking ass off. No problem, hon. You keep supporting yourself and your babies with that money. First of all, I am so sorry for your loss. I hope you and your children find peace, healing, and love as time goes on. If your husband was smart enough to prepare for such a horrific loss, you know he was doing it with you and the kids in mind. He did not take out life insurance and go, I feel so at peace knowing grandma and grandpa could go on another booze cruise. Use the money for your children and yourself with no guilt. And the petty part of me would offer to air the dirty laundry when your mother-in-law gives you a hard time. Say that you will ask around if people think that a recent widow with young children should give her late husband's final gift to his grandparents so they could go on another vacation or make sure his children are stable. Even if they were not financially comfortable, it is still completely inappropriate. Commenter 4. Roaches always come out of the woodwork when any money at all is afoot. Not the asshole. Commenter 5. Not the asshole. I'm a financial planner. You need the money to keep your house or apartment over your head and your kids clothed and fed for the next 2 decades. I'm sorry for your loss. And I am also sorry that your husband's crappy mother is trying to make your life harder for you. Next story. Am I the asshole for kicking my sister and her baby out after what she did to my dog? I, 29 male, have a golden retriever named Max. He is 3 years old and the friendliest, most well-behaved dog you could ask for. Recently, my sister, 25, female, went through a rough breakup and needed a place to stay with her 6-month-old baby. Of course, I let her move in rent-free, as she is family. At first, everything was fine, but a few weeks ago, I came home to find Max acting strange. He was hiding under the table, shaking, and would not come when I called him. This was completely out of character for him. I asked my sister if she knew what happened, and she just shrugged, saying, "Oh, I had to teach him a lesson." That immediately set off alarm bells, so I pushed for more details. Eventually, She admitted that Max had been barking while the baby was napping, so she locked him in the bathroom with the lights off for hours to make him understand. We had such an argument over this. I told her that she does not get to discipline my dog, and that even if she did, that was a terrible way to treat a dog or any other living creature. She said it was fine and that Max was just a dog. We went back and forth, and I eventually just told her that if she did anything like that again, she is out. A few weeks after that, I was just chatting with my neighbor as neighbors do, and he told me that he could hear shouting sometimes from my sister in my house and my dog yelping, as if in pain. I confronted her with this, and she told me that sometimes she firmly pats Max to get him to stop doing things, like barking or going up to the baby. So basically, she hits Max when I'm not around. I was furious. I told her she had 24 hours to pack her things and leave. That is when she lost it, saying she had nowhere else to go and accusing me of choosing a dog over my own sister. Now our parents are calling nonstop, saying I should be more understanding because she is a stressed-out single mom. Also, she ended up staying with our mother. I love my sister, but Max is my family too, and I will not tolerate anyone mistreating him. Am I the asshole for kicking her out? Commenter 1. Not the asshole. Dogs should not be treated like that. Good for you for kicking her out. That is like the original poster taking his sister's baby and locking the baby in a room because the baby is crying. What the sister did to the dog is borderline abusive. Definitely not the asshole. Edit. Just read the part about firm pats. This is definitely abuse, not borderline. It is literally animal cruelty. Hitting or causing physical harm or distress to a protected animal is illegal. Frankly, I would be concerned about what she does to her baby when it cries. Animal abusers do not usually stop at animals. No, they work their way up the food chain. I pity that kid when they start talking. Commenter 2. Not the asshole. And the first person who tells you otherwise is the first person who just volunteered to house your sister. And I can guarantee you that there will be plenty of people saying, it is just a dog/animal or but family. And you respond with, well, thank you for agreeing to open your house for my sister since you feel that way. They will shut right up. The original poster's sister straight up abused his dog. Max is part of the original poster's family, and he did exactly what a responsible pet owner should do, protect him. Anyone saying otherwise can take his sister in themselves. Also, firmly patting sounds like a bullshit way to downplay what she was actually doing. The original poster did the right thing. Commenter 3. Not the asshole. If she's treating your innocent and well-behaved dog like that, I would hate to see how she would react to her own child when they reach their terrible twos. Even if she has patience for her child's behavior, I doubt she would give the same respect to other people's children if left alone with them. Commenter 4. Not the asshole. You would be an asshole if you did not kick her out. What audacity. She fucked around and found out. Now, your mom can be more understanding because she is, your sister, a stressed-out single mom. Does your mom have any pets? Is Max over his totally understandable, odd behavior now that the bitch is out of your house? Commenter 5. Not the asshole. She is doing more than patting and locking him up if your dog is hiding and shaking. Also, your neighbor hears him screaming from inside. That is what yelping is. He is screaming in pain and terror. Glad you got that psycho away from him. I hope the baby is safe. Take him to the vet and get him checked over. Give your sister the bill. I would also consider filing a report for animal abuse.